how is your day going? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, testing new makeup, using some old makeup, whatever the case may be, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to also click the little bell so that way you can be notified of all my future uploads. As well as don't forget to go and follow me over on Instagram. It's Life with Carrington M. Similar to my YouTube name, only an M at the end is what it is. And then if you do enjoy this video, if you like this type of content, then definitely go ahead and give this video a thumbs up along the way as well. So you're like, so what are we doing today? I have been on a kick where I've just been testing new makeup this whole time. And it was my last video that I had posted testing some new makeup. Here's the thumbnail. You guys can go check that video out. I'll link it down below. But where I was just like talking about how I've dyed my hair, I've dyed my hair black. I have like 5 nose piercings. My Medusa is pierced. And how like black nails and how my little like goth high school self would be so proud. Like the most proud of where I'm at now. And so then Dawn, one of my all-time loyal favorite watchers, viewers, subscriber, part of this little dumpster fire, was like, how would you do your makeup today if you were in high school? And I was like, okay, I love this. I love this so much. So that is what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to be doing, if I were to go into high school today, and I was going to do my makeup before going, what would my makeup look like? How would I do my makeup? So, if you guys are excited to see the makeup that I would be wearing to high school, if I were indeed still in high school, then definitely keep on watching. So first off, eyeshadow primer. I will say in high school, I don't think eyeshadow primer was a thing. I don't. So my graduation year was 2010. I graduated in 2010. So, yeah, eyeshadow primer, before then was not a thing. It was not a thing at all, that I could ever find, you know, like, or ever use. Like, I don't ever remember anybody saying anything about eye primers. So, if there were eye primers, it was news to me. It was news to me. So, I'm just going to kind of like blend that out. So, I always make sure I prime my eyes. So, next up is, there's a couple of different ways that I would honestly do my makeup, do my eye makeup, and be completely, totally happy with it. I would use like things from like Adept, Unearthly Cosmetics, Kaleidos, you know, like those like really grunge palettes like Laminatrix, things like that. But I definitely wanted to stick to a little bit more of how I did do it in high school, so that way it's not like completely different. When I was in high school, I loved black dark eyeshadow. Now, what I will say is I probably only used like one color on my lid. Oh, here's the thing. I will try my best to try to put pictures of me in high school if I can find any. That's kind of where the hard part lies, is being a kid in the foster care system. Sometimes you don't get to take any of your pictures that you was in your original home with you, so you lose those. And then depending on where you are in the foster care system, group home versus maybe like a foster care home or something like that, kind of limits on whether or not you can use a camera or not, depending on where you are. And so just want to make that note. I will see if I have any, but I don't know if I do. But I do remember with my eye looks, it would probably be like all like black shadow and then like thick eyeliner on the top and the bottom. Yes. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to dive on into this Kaleidos palette. I'm just going to start taking the lightest gray shade in there, which is this one right here. Do they have shade names? No, they don't have shade names. And if they do, it's not on the pack. It's not on this packaging. So we'll just go with it. So this is the lightest gray shade. And we're just going to start building that up into the transition type area. How did you guys do your makeup in high school? And did that change based on like what year you were in, what you were feeling? Like maybe like did you have your emo phase and then, you know, went into something a little bit more nice and neutral? Like what exactly was happening in your high school? Like how did you do your makeup? What was like the common trend there? Did you go to the same high school? If not, did the way that you look vary based on the high school that you went to? Let me know that down below. Move on to the second darkest gray shade in the bunch. And we're going to focus that just like in like the crease area. To start deepening and darkening that up a little bit. So I will say my experiences were definitely markedly different in high school. So I will say first year was my freshman year. That's when I really it was towards the end of my 8th grade year, beginning of my freshman year, when I was really feeling like the goth, like the emo vibe, aesthetic, you know, stuff like that. So that's when that really came about for me. But it did change because then in my sophomore year, I went and I moved to Kansas City. And so I actually didn't really wear a lot of makeup because I was in like a residential facility and you could not have makeup. Like that was just not a thing. You weren't allowed to have that. You're only allowed like so many changes of clothing, stuff like that. So there was that. Then the first half of my junior year, actually it was only like a couple months of my junior year, truthfully. I lived with my grandparents for a few months. And my grandparents were very much like, if you have like this black hair and wear dark makeup and dark clothing, like you're not going to be accepted here. Like it's just not going to work out for you. And that is very much true. The school that I went to was very small. Everybody like lived on farms and stuff like that. And so you didn't see anybody with like dark hair that like dyed their hair dark themselves. You just didn't see that. So my grandma was like, you need to go tanning. You need to go lighten your hair. I'm going to take you to multiple appointments so we can lighten your hair to a nice brown, maybe some blonde highlights. And so then I just kind of wore my makeup very natural because again, I spent a year in a place where I couldn't have any makeup. So I just didn't really have any, to where, you know, my grandparents bought me some like very minimal things, like so a little bit of blush, some mascara, like a lip gloss, a foundation, just like the most basic of stuff, right? So now I'm going to go into this black shade. So then, finally, my final half of junior year and all of my senior year, I went to another like group home. In this group home, you could have makeup, of course, if it's anything sharp, you know, such as it had like a sharpener on it, glass mirrors and whatever. You had to have it locked up, and then you could use it like, you know, with like the staff members around or whatever. But then I went to this public school. I did do my makeup. I tried to like cut my hair like a very just like emo cut, but I couldn't dye it black or anything like that. Like it just had to stay the color that it was, which was fine. And then I feel like that year I kind of just did like a lot of like really just like dark mascara, like not or dark eyeliner, like not at all anything like eyeshadow, anything like that. It was just a very dark black line. And then I kind of wore like in between, like sometimes I would have really dark clothes on, and then the next time I'd be wearing pink. Like I don't know. Just let me have it. Okay, so I am now going to take my NYX Glitter Glue Primer. This is one of the best primers for anything shimmer, metallic, toppers, actual glitter, anything like that. Oh, I don't know why I was going to put that on my other lid when I haven't even done that. So, just way ahead of the game. So, yeah, that's kind of how that was. And then when I was, just getting into like college and stuff like that, ooh, we're going to take this beautiful silver. It's going to be so good. I kind of was just trying to figure out where I was in life, what I was trying to do. That's when I had an abusive relationship, finally got out of that, met my husband, I guess we'll call it husband, and was able to kind of start growing into myself. It did take me a while to kind of figure out who I was, what I wanted in life, things like that. And now I've circled back into like my very just like grunge self, which it just makes me happy. Okay, it just does. It's like darkness. It just makes me happy. Okay, so here's where I probably want to leave the eyes for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go jump off camera. I'm going to go ahead, finish off the other eye. I will do lashes and liner while I'm off camera. So I am going to use this Natasha Denona Micro Blade Liner. Throw on some of these like Kiss lashes that I have. And then we will come back and we will just start to work on the rest of the face. All right, so now we're going to move on into the face. So, wild disclaimer, does anybody else remember not ever having a face primer? Like that was not a thing. Same here, but now I have a two-step priming. I have a two-step priming routine. So my first step is I always like to take something that is going to be hydrating. This is the Ritual to Feel Thorn Oil Priming Facial Elixir. I really like that. So my skin is very dry, leaning dry. Like there's not really like anything else but dry on my skin. And so I really like to put on anything hydrating. It doesn't necessarily have to be this. Like I like the Juno & Co. Moonshine Cream. I like the, what else do I like? I like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Beige. There's a lot of like really good hydrating primers that I really like. And I really just kind of focus that all over the face. So that way everything can just be really nice, really hydrated. And yeah, it's really glowy. So my next step is I do like to take something that's a little bit more pore filling. Just because I do have some pores definitely in this area. So although I'm not going to be able to get rid of my pores and, or make them any smaller, I do like the way in which some pore filling primers can really just help everything kind of smooth out. So I have the Winky Lux, the Marshmallow Primer. I am not going to lie, I really like this primer. The one thing I don't like is like, it's like $20 or $25, something like that. I'm just like, dang girl. For a Winky Lux, that's like sold at Target. I don't know if I would necessarily pay that. But I feel like it does kind of help just to kind of smooth them over a little bit. Just make them feel just like a little bit nicer. So then we're going to move on into the foundation. So when I was in high school, the foundation that everybody wore was the Maybelline Sweet Mousse, Dream Mousse, something like that. And I felt like the more matte it was, as well as how if the less likely it was to ever match your neck shade, the more popular you were, right? The darker you looked, the more matte you looked, right? You were more popular. I cannot do that, and I really wish I did not do that in high school either. So I personally really like something glowy. Even though like right now you're probably like, well, your makeup's going to be really dark and things like that. I still want something that's going to make my skin look healthy and glowy. So this is of course not like the only foundation I have that I like that provides that glow. I actually have a ton. What I will say though is this is probably, if I were still in high school, you know, I probably wouldn't be able to afford like a ton of these makeup products. So I definitely wanted to pick something from the drugstore. And I'm going to be honest, I think they are I think I heard somebody say they discontinued it. I don't know. Last time I was at my Walmart, there was still some there. So I'm not sure if they're just waiting to like get rid of the stock, or maybe it's just like discontinuing in some areas. I don't know. I'm not 100% for sure. But that information I do know. So just wanted to pick something kind of drugstore-ish. So then we're going to move on into the concealer. I'm going to go into this KVD Good Apple foundation, or Good Apple, no, what the hell is it called? This is called, well now I don't know, so now I sound dumb, but it's like Good Apple concealer, I don't know. And again, I don't think concealer was actually a thing in high school, right? But I've always kind of had like some dark spots like right in here. You know, they're not horrible. They're not like, oh, you're complaining about dark bags, but I can hardly see them. I mean, it's, yeah, I've had them. They're not terrible, right? They're not like the worst ever. But I just don't remember there ever being concealer. If we're going to be honest, yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think, and I'm just like, I can't think of when I had ever even known concealer was a thing. Like, I can't remember concealer being like a thing. You know? I don't know. Okay. So, we're just going to blend this out. This is such a good concealer. I've heard some people say that you can't get it off of, like Sephora and Ulta's website anymore, but you can still get it off like the KVD website. I don't know. If you guys know if this is being discontinued or not, y'all gonna have to let me know. Sound off in the comments if you can get this or not, because I want to know. So moving on, one thing that I love now that I did not think I was going to love, but I would definitely still be wearing this, is like cream products. I feel like my makeup really lasts and extends if I have like cream and then like powders on top. So of course I would want something a little bit more cool for like the perimeters of my face and stuff like that. So I have the Fenty Cheeks Out Fresh Style Cream Bronzer. This is in shade Amber. And this is almost like a gray. We're going to be honest, it's just like very much grayish. And so I'm just going to take this brush and just start stippling on the contour. Just trying to like blend it out as well. And we'll do the same to the other side. I feel like this look is also just going to be perfect for like the Halloween spooky time as well, you know, and I'm here for that. And then we're going to just take some a little bit up here on the forehead, and that is what we're going to do. So now I want to move on to a cream blush. I'm going to go in with this ABH. This is in Latte. It's kind of, again, just like another, just like really cool toned kind of blush. And so I think that would work. Yeah, I think that's a really cute color. And then I'll just take the back of my sponge and just kind of start stippling it out. I will say one way that I'm kind of discovering that I really like my blush a lot more now is to kind of bring it up a little bit more and not as far forward. Like, I don't need to bring it to the apples. I kind of just stop it like a little bit back here, and I'm really kind of like loving that a little bit more than normal. Okay, so another thing that I now do is use a setting powder. I honestly can't remember if I know there were like powder foundations, but I can't remember anything about like set your makeup, like foundation, like set your makeup, you know, like setting powder. I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I feel like I did have like from a young age, like a really good like idea of like makeup and stuff. My mom sold Avon. Y'all remember that, going door to door? Yeah, so my mom did Avon when I was little, and every morning she would do her makeup, and she had a whole bag like full of makeup when I was little and like growing up. And so when she was getting ready, I would just like kind of ask her, well, what's this? What's this? And I don't remember setting powder ever being a thing. Just like I don't remember like face primers or eye primers being a thing. I think my mom also kind of, instead of there being like eyeshadow palettes, hold on, out of hair. Instead of there being like, there's hair everywhere. Instead of there being like eyeshadow palettes, it would be like singles. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like little singles. I will say though, like my skin is looking really like incredible. It's looking so good. I had somebody in a comment, I'm like, it's like an older video where they were like, well, yeah, I'm sure your skin looks good because you use a whole bunch of filters. I use 0 filters. Zip, zilch, zon, zilch. So now we're going to go ahead and let's just move on into the lower lash line. And honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the lightest shade and just do the exact same thing I did on the top, on the bottom. And that's just what we're going to do. So for my inner corner, I'm going to go into the Jeffree Star, what is this called? Ice Cold. Here's the thing. When I was in high school, he was a big deal on like, what was it called? MySpace. I don't really know when he really got into like YouTube and stuff like that, but I remember like his songs, like We Want Cunts and like, I just like remember his songs and like stuff. And him being on like MySpace and like the cereal picture and I mean like stuff like that. Like that's what I remember. And so I feel like I needed to use like some sort of Jeffree Star product just because like, I mean, in high school, like that was iconic. That was iconic. He didn't have a makeup brand or anything yet. But like, if he did, oh man. Oh man. Before, you know. I really like to make like little swoops up into my eyeshadow. You see that? Like where it's just nice and just like swooped in. I love that so much. Okay. All right. So I do want to kind of set my brows, kind of give them time to dry, like the brow gel. So I'm just going in with this. I used to have like a, here's the issue, now that I've dyed my hair black, all of my brow colors, which used to be like very like light brown, soft brown, taupe, it's just not really cutting it anymore. So I have to move to black, and I haven't bought black brow gel. I just haven't. So I just kind of start off with clear, let that set, and then move on to like the face, the rest of the face, and then go back to the brows. So now for the rest of the face, we now need to go into bronzer. And so for another iconicness from when there is the KVD Beauty Contour Shade and Light, like contour type palette. And I feel like I really like this because it does have some really like nice light options. And again, I wanted more of like a cool vibe. So I'm just going to take like the lightest shade and kind of mix it with like the setting powder shade a little bit. So it's not too intense. You know, I don't want anything too outrageous. Okay, let me just dab in once with that, tap off, and see what happens. Yeah, see, it's just really, it's nice and cool. So the next step is I want to find a blush that's going to be, again, nice and cool toned. So I pulled out a couple different options. So I have this from Kaleidos. This looks very, very intense, but I feel like it's almost wearable. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Dior, where you look at it and you think, oh, that's going to be like way too pink, and then it's not. But then I also like pulled this out, right? I really think I like this. I think I want to go with that. So that's Pink Prince, and this is from Lunar Beauty. Okay, then. And again, we just kind of start farther back. I'm not going up to the apples of my cheeks. And then just kind of start to bring up a little bit as well. Might need a little bit more color. Because I do want the blush to really have like a focal point, kind of, but not like too much, you know? For highlight, I then want to go into this right here. This is from this is a scent from Kaleidos. This is number 2 Space Age. This is Star Surfer. So where is my little, oh great, where's my highlight brush? Don't worry, I found it. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that, get it built up. I really love to bring my highlight forward, kind of drape around like so. Okay. Do the same thing over on the other side. Just like so. Then another thing that I would then go in with is this from NYX. This is the Bear With Me Set Refresh. So I don't remember setting spray being the thing either, but I really do like something that's gonna like refresh up my skin, kind of sink all the powders in. So that's why I would go in with that. So next up, okay, are we just like coming to the end now? I think I have brows and lips. So brows take me a really, really long time. I'm going to use this brow pencil. This is in the shade Black Brown. It's not the darkest, but it works. But it takes me a really long time to do my brows. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll go off camera, do my brows, and then come back so we can finish off with like a lip and see what the final look looks like. All right, so I'm back with the brows on. So if you guys are not new here, you guys will know that I love a dark lip. I can't do a lot of neutral lips, and I just feel like the reason I can't do a lot of neutral lips is just, for me personally, I just don't think neutral lips will really look that good on me, if we're gonna be honest. I just don't. So I usually like the Give Me Glow black liquid lip, but I'm not sure where that's at currently. So excuse me. So we have the Lunar Beauty. This is in the shade Wicked. So let me just, hold on. Okay. Just hold on a minute. So here's the completed and final look. As you can tell, there's no black lip. This is just like too streaky for me. I was even trying to like let it completely dry, then add another layer. I tried where it was just still wet and adding another layer, like more layers to get it, and it was just so streaky, and like the lines were just getting everywhere, and it was just like not looking good. So what I did instead is I went in with this from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This was from her holiday collection. This is in the shade Flannel. And then I topped it with this Lunar Beauty gloss. This is in the shade Jewel. So I just kind of combined those two. I felt like that worked a lot better, but honestly, I would still go into high school like this and still feeling like I am living my like my best life. Like this is fantastic to me. Let me know what you guys think down below. How would you guys do your makeup today? If you were going to go back into high school. Again, I'm really happy with this. I think my skin looks, I mean, it just looks so good. It looks airbrushed. It looks flawless. Everything just goes together. It's really nice and really cool. And I just feel like everything just ties in. So I'm really, really impressed with this. If you guys have any other like video ideas, Dawn came up with a really good one. Like if I were to go to high school today, how would I do my makeup now? And this is 100% how I would do my makeup. And I would feel so fucking confident, so happy walking into that school looking like a legit witchy snack. You know, that's what I'm gonna call it. We're gonna call it a witchy snack. That's what this look is. It's a witchy snack look. So let me know if you guys have any other like video ideas that you think would be fun to see. I would love to do those. I am planning on filming with a couple new products that I have gotten, as well as I plan on doing a what I'm reaching for every day. So I'm really excited for those. So if you guys are as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. If you have any ideas for future videos, leave that down below in the comments. Or if you guys like this look, thought that was fun, leave this down below in the comments as well. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I had so much fun, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.